can press record. All right, so welcome. So how this next 45-ish minutes or less will look like is we're going to introduce ourselves and share a little bit about what Give Your Gift is from our perspective, more than in addition to the landing page. And then the floor is essentially open for any questions that anybody might have about the program. We can chat. We also have some questions, default questions some folks might have that maybe weren't answered on the landing page. So I can start. My name is Mary. This is the third iteration of Give Your Gift, and I have been a part of the empowerment department of the Service Guild kind of at its birth. I think it was my conversation with Toshin that really started what is now called the empowerment department. And the empowerment department main goal is to do more fun service projects in the world and to help empower more people to do more fun service projects in the world. Um, During the day, I help people in transition points in their career lives, the more lost or like without a next obvious step. You are like, that's my jam, and I just love talking about that. I'm in Vancouver, British Columbia, and another thing I like to do is dance West Coast swing. Recently got into it, so it's fun, and I'm really excited about this program and getting to meet all the really fun people that are going to be joining. Tashin, floor is yours. Who are you?
Yes, I am Tashin, Guild Master of the Service Guild. It's so lovely to have a crew, this empowerment department, and then also, of course, there's the love and curiosity departments. Um, you know, I need to put words to this, but I feel always just this sense of tremendous possibility for our planet and this time, and all the people that I know are so lovely. I really feel everyone has gifts to give, and I think that we can do things together that we haven't even dreamed of. And that's a big part of what the empowerment department is about, is helping individuals connect to their sense of their calling or life purpose or vow and doing projects aligned with that. And I hope that long term we will be building a network of people who are doing service projects like these that can do bigger and better projects for the benefit of the whole world. So yeah, that's what gets me up in the morning. That's what I'm excited about. How about you, Anansi?
Yo, I'm Anansi. I'm currently located in Birmingham, Alabama. I'm a member of the Empowerment Department. I've been doing things with the Empowerment Department and Give Your Gift for the last 2 years now. That's crazy. It's straight up crazy. Um, hmm, I just love empowering people. I I find myself reflecting a lot lately to myself that like I like doing this because I wish I had received this kind of like empowerment and attention growing up. And it's nice to have the chance to be able to just be like blowing about, just being like, hey, how can I help you? No? How can I be of service? And it's nice having this opportunity.
Great. Thanks so much, Nancy. Also, welcome, Di. Um, so a little bit about the program. To start off, kind of how it even got started is Tasha and I were talking with James Stuber almost 3 years ago that we wanted to kind of support more people doing fun service projects in the world. And how can we do that? We can do that through a program, have a group of people coming together to do fun service projects and and the thing that we thought people needed is to be seen and witnessed in all their gifts and what is it that they want to see more of in the world and be supported in doing a project, kind of given options, create different parts of it. Um, be supported through that process. So that first Give Your Gift, I think was 6 weeks, and we had like 2 1-hour calls with everyone in there, and we first got to know them, and then we got to create a project with them, and then there was a variety of different weekly calls to share on a variety of topics, and that was really awesome, and it was really intensive for everyone involved. So it has evolved several times, and this time around we're doing this 2 week online. Um, Download of things that we have learned from the work that we've done over the past 3 years for people who um, want to do good in the world, like want to see more service and want to give their gift, but they're not entirely sure how that looks like. They feel like they don't fit an actual mold of conventional. We use the word quirky. Um, a lot, and I definitely describe myself as quirky. Like I don't fit in the right work container, or even talking to some people. I'm like, I'm definitely a little bit different than you, and I think I want to be surrounded more by quirky, unconventional people who want to be doing good stuff. So that's what this is for us. And in terms of kind of logistics, it looks like 2 weeks in June, four calls Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Wednesday, Friday. And we'll be covering a variety of different topics, and everything is going to be super interactive. The whole point of it is to get people together and connect to their own values, to their vows, to what an ideal service project is, and then what their next steps will look like with other folks. So there'll be some talks, but then also a lot of interactive activities to illuminate that for everyone. So that's kind of the gist of it. And Anansi or Tashin, is there anything else that you'd want to add, either about the background or about how this version of Give Your Gift looks like?
I just want to add, I'm really excited to be teaching the session on the vow, or to be facilitating the session on finding one's vow and articulating it. That has been a very crazy journey in life for me, and I've had a lot of help through being a part of the Give to Gift program around finding mine, mystery and dopeness. And yeah, I'm just really excited to do that.
I'd say, we're always experimenting and trying new things across the guild. And the thing we're trying this time is, can we make this short and sweet and accessible to as many people as possible? Um, we're going with a 250 price for this. But if funds are a problem, you can be in touch with me and let me know your situation, and we'll come to something. We'd love to have you. Um, and as part of that, one of the big changes we're making is that we're not actually having doing a project be strictly part of this program. We're hoping to give you the best of what we've learned over the past 3 years and support you in that way. And then what you do with that is up to you. Like we'll hope and pray that you go and run and do a project of your own on your own timeline. That's kind of the hope, is coming up with projects that feel aligned, maybe ones that would surprise you that you wouldn't know about beforehand. But you're like, oh, this actually seems like a good idea. But the real value of this program is going to come from you taking it and applying it to your life and doing a project, hopefully doing lots of projects. I hope that like the more projects you can do, the faster you can do them, the more benefit this kind of thing is. But we want to give you the 2 weeks, the best of it in 2 weeks if possible. And we'll see how that goes, whether that works, whether it doesn't work, what we like about it, what we don't. And of course, we'll want your feedback on that too.
So with that, I'd love to open the floor if anybody has any questions, and you can also put them in the chat, and I'd be happy to read them out loud, and we'll answer those.
Yeah, I guess I'm curious, when it comes to people being at varying levels of where they are with having connection to a sense of calling and what vow they might already feel connected to or already have made. Like, is this more designed for people at particular places or adaptable?
I'd say people at different levels, places in their life, different chapters of their life, probably will find this valuable. My sense is um, maybe some of the sessions will feel more resonant or more powerful for different people. And probably at least one of the four. I know when we did the values session back in 2022 for the first time we ran this program. I hadn't done the values exercise before. I was very clear on my vow at that point, and I was like, "Oh, I have values too." That's really okay. That's helpful, and it's changed my life tremendously since then. I know Anansi's had this experience as well since doing that exercise, and of course, Mary's always on about it. So hard to know for sure what will resonate, but my sense is there's something for everybody, and it'll, if you feel more connected to your vow, you already have a sense of it, then you might get support from the projects generation or the values or the next steps. One that the last session, somebody might just really value getting in touch with even what a vow is or whether there is a vow, and that might be valuable for someone else. So yeah, everybody's welcome, and I think we'll find benefit from it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think I wanna second that, and also this idea of I think everyone will move forward in some way wherever they are in that journey. And I think the one prerequisite that I'd have is that someone is curious and craves that kind of clarity or that kind of I don't know, clarity not guaranteed, but that kind of even just next loop around the learning circle. And I think there's value in it for everyone. And we're trying to design the activities to be helpful wherever you are, and either be like an intro and be like an aha moment hearing it, or an aha moment from like thinking about this again, or realizing it, or having it reflected back. I'm hoping to have a lot of breakout rooms where you can have someone else's perspective of reflection back on what they heard, either on your vow or your values, so that you are not kind of alone in your own silo, but getting it interacted with the rest of the world.
Thank you.
I'm very low information on this program, and I'm mostly just here to observe and learn and listen. But I'm curious, Mary, because you do career coaching,
Mhm.
how that informs your work here, and if there are any key differences in either strategy or perspective.
Yeah. Thanks for the question. I think it's a really good one. I think about that quite a bit because I think these two strands of my work, I guess, are intertwined together. One very different factor is where people are coming in, or kind of what is the perfect moment? What is the moment that they are interacting with either Give Your Gift and this program and my own coaching. And my own coaching is for people in particular who feel like they want to do something different in terms of their work, and that money is very much attached to the work they want to be doing, and they feel lost with what the next step will look like professionally. I think it extends into the rest of their life. So it feels more specific that they're coming to a problem with a problem to me. And the Give Your Gift feels like it's a paradigm shift on how you think about projects and how you think about the energy you put into service and work that you are doing. So it feels like I feel like if all my clients came in and knew about values and vows, it'd be kind of like foundational work. And this is all in a group, and I do one-on-one coaching. The things that overlap is my philosophy is that we should always start with what is true to us rather than going outwards and finding kind of trying to fit ourselves to what we think we should be doing. And that's what I think the Give Your Gift program is doing really, really well. We'll talk about values and vows and trying to understand what feels true in our hearts based on our stories, on our past experiences, and then how does that interact with projects that we want to be doing. We'll have a bunch of brainstorming exercises. Um, Also, this is kind of a very condensed container. It's meant to be in a group, so it's not as one-on-one and kind of intensely focused. But there is quite a bit of overlap there. Curious, Tasha or Nancy, do you have any thoughts both on that, but what you've experienced from my work and how it connects to Give Your Gift or is different from it?
I'm just
I wish
thinking about
I'd,
the
oh,
oh,
please, you, Anansi.
I'm just thinking about the values exercise, and it took, literal years for me to actually like do it. And then when I sat down and did it, it was like, oh wow, there's a lot of things in here about myself that I didn't know, which I should have known. And as soon as I acted on those things, like all these little areas opened up, and that's like something I think of like as being downstream from Mary's work. Um, I could say more, but like that's it's good.
I always think back about when I was in my own life. I trained at a monastery for 5 years, and it took me about 8 months to decide to leave, and I wish I could have talked to Mary during that time, and it was like a transition point for me. And then even after that, I was like figuring out what am I doing, and it took about a year, really until the point that I met Mary in April of 2022 to have a sense of what I would call my vow, or you could call it a calling. We just kind of have inherited that word. It's the word that I received about this teaching, but you could call it a calling or a purpose or a mission or something like this. This is something that we really stand for and believe in the empowerment department, that everyone has a vow, has a calling. And for us, it's something that's emergent that you discover over time rather than something you succeed or fail at, that you it's sort of predestined. And that can be one of the connotations of a life purpose. Like, oh, I have this purpose and I have to do it or else I'm bad and I fail. That's not really how we hold it. Um, so yeah, I think that worldview is a big part of what we share in the empowerment department and what we focus on our programs. And then I think your coaching is really good for people who are specifically at a transition point and yeah, want to focus on a career change. Um, really make sure that that goes well for them. Whereas this program isn't focused about how are you going to make money or what does your career look like or what is your resume. It might overlap with that, it might benefit that, but that's not really the main focus.
Right. Leona or Di, any questions or anything you want to put in the chat?
Hmm.
Cool.
Glad to hear, friend.
Okay, cool. Um,
Oh, Mary,
there's
could I add one more thing actually?
yeah, go ahead.
Um, this is a little tricky to talk about, and it's something we don't talk about in the copy because I don't want to overpromise anything. Uh, it's this is a very emergent property of working with the empowerment department, but a big way that we view this kind of a program is that this is how you can get connected to us and how we can learn about you and what you're here to do. And we want to support the people we work with, not just for the 2 weeks that we're together, but indefinitely. And we want to be curating kind of this network of people who have the same kind of sensibilities about projects and work and service and fun in the world. And I think that over years and decades, there are things that we can do collectively that none of us could do alone. And we want to help facilitate that over time. So, yes, this is a 2 week program. It's going to be pretty quick, just 4 sessions in early June. Would love to have you for it. But it's also, we've used this metaphor of a doorway. It's a doorway to being connected to the empowerment department. And we're still learning ourselves what we're doing. We're taking the same approach we're sharing with you of having these iterative projects and learning what works, what resonates for people, what we like, what's fun for us, what the impact seems to be. But we are going to be keep doing programs over time, and this is a way to get connected to us, and hopefully over time we'll learn more about you, be able to better support you, be able to connect you to other people, create opportunities for you that we didn't know about in advance, and even collaborate together or something. It's hard to know exactly what that will look like because it's emergent, but we have seen that over time. We probably worked with something like 33, 34, 35 people so far in a variety of different programs and configurations, and we're still connected to these people. We still support them when we can and offer programs to them, support them, and we've learned so much from that, and this is a way to get connected to us in that way. It's not just the 2 week program. It's sort of, hey, now we know you, we know what you're doing, and we're still learning how to continually support people in that way, but you will be more connected to us in that way.
Something I want to add on top of that. I've been trying to figure out like what feels really important to me to say here. It's like I feel like the most important thing I could say is just about like the general impact that being a part of this like program department has had on me, which is like a lot of the people I'm connected to through the empowerment department and the Give Your Gift program are like the people I'm like closest to in my life right now. Um, I have video calls with these people all the time. If I get the chance, I like go to their cities and see how I can support them, or like vice versa. I've done like collaborative art projects with some, service projects with others. It's been a beautiful space. People have held space for me to like finish my novel project, to explore video, sound, music. Being a part of this program like led to me getting like an electric bass guitar. Like the people who were part of this like all chipped in to get me this. Um, I don't know, just the most valuable part of all this has been being connected to a network of people who are really trying to figure out how to live and be of service in the world, on this weird web of non-linear resonance. And I don't know, it's a very mysterious path, and it's very nice to be connected with a group of people who are about that.
I think something that's really hard to communicate um, is like what the vibe will be like of the entire thing of Give Your Gift. And part of it is like I hope this is somewhat of a taste of it. But a big part, and we'll talk about this a little bit in the first session, is this idea of being fun professional, of the work that or like the projects that you're doing, the way that you hold yourself. There's a level of professionalism, I like to think about it as loving expectations. Like you lovingly expect from yourself as opposed to like expectations being constricting and kind of and suffocating, being like, I will hold myself to the highest regard and do like really, really amazing stuff while also having so much fun. Like at the core, and talk about that more, but one of the core pieces of the Ideal Service projects, it's that it's fun. And like Toshin has been someone in my life that's been like, is this fun for you? Is this fun for you? Like if it's not fun, it needs to change. But to keep asking that over and over again, and using that as the North Star, along with the other um, aspects of the Ideal Service project, which you can see, but it's feasibility, ambition, service, and in that it's U-shaped. Um, it it feels really the word wholesome comes to mind. It's like wholesome, fun, um, that we're doing really cool stuff together and we support each other. And that's what empower means to me. It's like having someone be like, I want to do this. And it's like, okay, I know you can do this. I have loving expectations of you doing it, but make sure it's fun. So I'm hoping that's the vibe that we can bring forward to in Give Your Gift in June, of this like this is we want this to be fun and also to hold ourselves and each other to the highest regard while not feeling like it's going to be perfect. Like we're not, or this is not a polished program, and you'll get videos and we might forget a link sometimes, or the video might not be working, but all of it is a part of creating something more beautiful and more human in the world.
Beautiful. That brings up for me, you'll see in the page, which I'll drop in the chat as well if you haven't already seen it, but we link out to a bunch of things. We've created so many things, and all of the materials that we're going to be doing in this course are already available as blog posts and things like that. If you want just the download, you can do that. What this course is going to be about is interacting with us, interacting with other people, getting a chance to do it as exercises, and also being connected to us, having a relationship. So the information's all already out there. Mary and I wrote a book. You can read our book. Uh, but this is about interaction and connection.
There's a question in the chat from
Mhm.
Dai. Can you talk a little through what happens in the program? I'm hoping to understand what sorts of things we do or discuss together, understanding that it's emergent and co-created given what you just said, Mary. Anybody want to go? I can also take this one. Okay. I can speak to it and the two of you can jump in. So the calls are divided into 4 sessions. So on Wednesday, Friday, Wednesday, Friday. The first one will be focused, and it's called Choosing Your Quest. And it'll be focused on the ideal service project and the qualities that I just described. Um, and understanding those, but also them using them to generate your own projects that you'll be doing. There'll also be a welcome And the whole idea and the outcome of that one is that you come out with some idea and a next step of the work, the project that you want to be doing. As Tasha mentioned, you're not required to finish the project, but it's the seeding of those first ideas of what is even a project, which ones feel like they resonate with you, which one's harder or more difficult for you in that moment. So they're all starts. The second call will be focused on values and the praises that Toshin and Nancy has sang to the values. I am a big proponent of them, but it's understanding first. It's identifying your values through a values exercise. We'll do that before the call. I think in a week or so, in a little bit, if you register for the program, Toshin will send a welcome email with all the things they'll need to prep for it. It'll be 1 or 2 exercises before the calls. And so during the values call, we'll talk about the values and we'll connect them back to being a lens on our own decision making and on our own project. So moving them from being just words, great words to put on a wall, to like, what is it the understanding in your own life and body, and how does it relate to what you want to be doing more of in the world and how you're doing it. So it's kind of a decision filter on projects in particular. The third call will be, Tasha, do you want to say something? No?
You're
Okay.
good.
The third call will be focused on vows. As Adanzi was saying, he's super excited about it. Do you want to say what you want to say about vows? Like how would you describe what's going to happen in it?
How I describe what's going to happen is there's going to be some like pre-thought about like what's your story, like what are the moments that have led you to this point in your life, and then we're going to be engaging in some kind of like meditation and like contemplation about like what are like the common themes, what are the common ways that like value has emerged in our lives, or how we provided value for others, and like what's kind of like the mythic story of like what does it seem, what does your life seem to be saying about like who you are, what you're here to do in the world, at least right now, and like articulating that. So that's what that session is going to be about.
Cool. And then we have our last emergent uh, maps for kind of figuring what your next step is. Tashin, do you want to speak to what you know about it right now?
Yep. So one of the we've talked a lot about the qualities of Ideal Service Project. That's been a really core part of the empowerment department. Another part over the years has been what we call the quest map. And this is our best sense of how someone might develop as what we call a hero over time as they come into contact with their vow and what projects they like to do. And so we'll talk about that and kind of tell a story of what could happen from here with these ideas. And then we'll also talk about what practical next steps you might be seeing and what you might be feeling called to do. As we said earlier in this call, like we're kind of, and a metaphor could be like we're giving you a ball or a torch, and it's on you to run with it, what you do with it. You get to decide what you do with it in your life and how you want to act on it. But that session will be about, okay, now that we've gotten all these ideas, what do we want to do next? What feels resonant? What am I excited about? What are we planning? And we'll talk about possible directions to support you in that.
Yeah. And generally, each of the calls will have a structure of like a check-in, an emotional check-in, a short intro or a talk on the topic at hand, and then a bunch of exercises to kind of elicit, yeah, how it relates to your life, and then a checkout. There will be dance songs at the beginning, like last time. So that's really exciting. Courtesy of Tashin and our empowerment soundtrack. Di, does that answer your question? Great. Okay. Welcome, Claudine. Nice to have you here.
Hi, I'm sorry I'm so late. I got the time wrong.
That's okay. It's all recorded, so you
Good.
can watch it afterwards. Yes, Leona.
Hi. So this is maybe a bit of a, vague question, but as someone who like personally knows well some of you, and like generally, I've been aware of this project of the Guild, of the Empowerment Department for years, and I've wanted to engage with it for years. And for some reason I have not. Like I was literally on the verge of doing it so many times. And I feel like it is in some ways exactly what I need. It feels a little bit weird to me to do it in like a 2 week container and in like a contained program like this. But do you feel like this would be a good like is this the threshold? Is this a good way to engage on a more kind of holistic and permanent level?
Yes.
I'm so curious about the weird part, but I'd love to hear more about that. But I'll
Wait, what
just
weird
say
part?
what's that?
What weird part?
Oh, you said, oh, like the 2 weeks feels weird, and I'm not sure if this is,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, I can go into that, but I interrupted you.
Yeah, I would be curious to hear about that, but I'll just say I'm reminded of a teaching that my teacher said, Soryu, he said all the time, which was sort of his own paraphrase of a Buddhist teaching, but it was like, don't rush, don't hesitate. I think about this all the time, and uh, yeah, if you're feeling resonant with it, don't rush, don't hesitate. If it's not the right time, that's okay, but I think it's worth not hesitating also. And we were talking earlier about this connection over time, and I think building that shared context is really valuable and it's good to do as soon as actually feels good and aligned.
I
Mm.
think, yeah, do you want to respond to that, Leona, or say more?
Um, Not necessarily, but maybe just about the weirdness of the 2 weeks is just I think the way that I relate to this is very much as kind of a lifelong project almost, and 2 weeks is like way on the opposite side of the spectrum of that, right? So
I couldn't agree more. This really is about the rest of our lives, and in some ways, this won't be finishing something. You'll have our vows unfold over our lives. Mary's always talking about how values change over your life. We discover who we are and what we're here to do continually and emergently. But I think this will be, yeah, kind of a threshold and a doorway where it's like, oh, there's a kind of a before and after. Oh, things changed because I did that program, and a new chapter began, and hopefully some course correction, alignment, clarity about where to move from here.
There's a related question from Dai in the chat. You mentioned running this program in different durations. Can you talk about how you decided to cap it to 2 weeks for this iteration? Kind of related to Leona's question. It feels short to me.
Yeah, we've done it as I think 6 and 5 weeks in the past. Those were good. It's all trade-offs. Everything is trade-offs. Whenever you do a project, everything is trade-offs. And this is an experiment. We want to see if making it 2 weeks can have a similar impact with making it more accessible to more people because it's shorter, it's more affordable, and also frankly, it's about what's fun for us. And, a 5 or 6 week program it's a big thing. It takes a lot of energy and uh, that's something we can do that we will do, but we wanted to see what running a shorter one would be like if it could possibly have a similar impact in a shorter frame for more people. I think we've also clarified over time what our value is and who we're serving. And this is our attempt to focus on kind of like a minimum viable dose of empowerment. Like what are the things that really matter? How quickly can we get them? It's not set in stone yet, but probably later this year, I will be running a productivity program, which used to be an element of the Give Your Gift program. I would still love to do a strategy program, a dedicated strategy program at some point. That probably won't be this year. But like all of the things we've ever done in the past, we will continue offering in different shapes and forms. We're just experimenting. And I think our hypothesis with this one is more people will be able to do this. It'll be more fun for us and it'll be similar or even more impact in a shorter time. But we'll see. We'd love to hear what you think about it. Yeah.
I also just wanted to address for Leona, who's like talking about being engaged over a longer period of time. We're also talking about, figuring out how we're going to be kind of making that transition from this program to like more ongoing off involvement with like the community and whatnot. So we're working that out. And I think I've specifically been given a task around that, which I need to get on top of. Yeah, just wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, that's right. There has been um, a variety of iterations of this program because of the the impacts that it had. One important thing for us was that the projects are like you give your gift, that a gift is given. And the projects that have come out of this program have been really, really amazing. And it takes a lot to support those kind of projects, especially in the 6 week span. And I think something that I'd really want to bring more of is how to empower other people to support each other and to not have just Tosh and I or our guides, one of them being Anansi, um, uh, kind of driving that. It's like how to support, how to have create the larger community to have people support each other. And I think this 2 week program is really great to give you the foundation of it. It's like I love someone coming out of this program to be like, wow, that wasn't enough. Like I want more. How can I be more involved? I want to do a project. How can I be a part of this? Because we want to hear that. There has been times when people have joined the community and then not participated in it or have kind of fallen off the wayside. And I'd really want the people that are there to feel like, I want to be here. I'm excited to be doing this. I want to be doing projects. So this is a sort of like introduction and taster and being like, are you our people? And if for not to be a gigantic commitment for people and for them to be able to opt in or opt out. Like if you don't want to be here at this time, like that's fantastic. You're always welcome. But this is a taster of who we are, how we do things, who else might even be interested and care about this as well. And like Tashin said, like, please tell us. If 2 weeks feels too short, then like I'm more than happy to do another 6 week program. But as long as people are like excitedly showing up for it. And one of the things we found is I think the 6 week program, we had a hard time getting enough people to join us for the 6 weeks to make that commitment. Um, so trying it out for 2 weeks to see if less of a time commitment, less of a financial commitment makes a difference for folks. But we've been doing this for over 2 or 3 years now, and like we just keep coming up with programs and how to support people. So this isn't the only thing. And as Anansi mentioned, we want to see how we can integrate this into the community. So that was a really long-winded question, a little meandering, but I hope it addresses that. Any follow-ups to that dive? Did we answer the question?
It was Leona, but
Oh no, Diane asked in chat.
oh, right. Very good.
Great. Any other last questions? Claudine, did you have anything on your heart or mind? If we repeat it, that's okay too.
Thanks. No, I really enjoyed the questions that were already asked. Thank you.
Great.
Yeah, we'll be popping this up on the YouTube channel too, so you could hear the first half if you like.
I have a question.
Yes, Anansi.
To the department, what are you hoping to get out of out of this experience for yourselves in running this?
You want to go first, Anansi?
I need a second to think about it.
I'll go. Since we've run this a few times, one thing we're trying is sort of having like just to take a step back. Historically, I sort of brought vows to the empowerment department. I was standing for that. And then Mary brought values and was like, values are really important. And we've kind of evolved this quest map over time, and we've evolved this ideal service project diagram over time as a team. And I could speak your ears off about vows. Mary could speak your ears off about values. We all have lots of things to say about it, but we're kind of with this one trying something new and switching it around. So like I'll lead the values section, and Anansi will be leading the vows section, and Mary will be leading at the beginning the project diagram. And all of us can talk about these, but I think it's a little bit less in our own personal comfort zone and familiarity. And so I think we're going to see new perspectives on familiar territory and explain it differently and understand it differently. And I think that's really exciting. And yeah, that's been a big part of it already for me. And I think that'll be really fun and rewarding.
I can go next. You can wrap us up, see, with your great question, great answer. I have two parts that I'm really excited about. One is the more of like back end nerdy. I love creating and designing fun and engaging online experiences for people. So I'm hoping that the calls that we do together will be like not your typical Zoom calls where you kind of just sit and be talked at, but that they're more engaging and connecting and that you come out of it feeling like, wow, that was awesome. Like I feel more energized rather than an additional Zoom fatigue that might be going on. And yeah, I'm really nerdy about that. Like I've designed most of our calls and from input with Anansi and Tashin. So I'm excited about how it turns out and always iterating on that. And the second part that I'm really excited about is I I don't know if you've seen my profile on Twitter, but my end goal is that I want to leave this world enmeshed in a web of relationships that stays strong while I leave. And these programs and these opportunities to meet people are like opportunity to weave relationships. Anansi was talking about it, and like that's my like secret hope is that we just connected to more awesome uh people that will then stay in my life. I'm playing the long game, and these are the relationships that feel like they'll be supportive um, to the life that I want to be living. So it's just like a really cool opportunity to meet awesome people, and I've only met the best people through this. So I'm excited most about that. You, Nancy?
I think the first thing that comes to mind is I'm excited to have the chance to like work with Tasha and Mary on doing this. Like I've never done anything like being a teacher in a cohort based program before. I've never done anything like exactly like this what we're doing. So this is going to be like a brand new experience for me, like teaching a session about this thing I've spent a lot of my life like engaged with in some form of or fashion, while getting to bring a lot of like my unique interests and skills to the session. Um, just getting to face like this edginess. Like this feels edgy for me, like right here, right now. Like right now, I feel like I'm at my edge. Like even doing this Q&A with y'all, I'm like having a lot of new experiences about like how do I show up to this thing? How do I like ground myself and speak with confidence about like what we're trying to do and like bring my unique flavor to this thing. And I guess the other thing is just like getting that good, sweet feeling of being of service to others using, my experiences and my energy and yeah, getting to give my gift like right here, right now.
Excellent. Thank you all for joining us today for the Q&A for Give Your Gift 3. That'll be starting at the beginning of June. Tashin, can you drop the link again in the chat? And it was so lovely to meet all of you. As Tashin said, no rush, no hesitation. If it feels like the right time for you, we'd love to have you. There's Anansi showing you how much he'd love to have you there. With that. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us and we'd love to answer them. Any last final thoughts, Tasha and Nancy? Okay. Thank
Thanks
you all.
everybody for joining.
Hope you have a beautiful day. You can unmute and say bye, and we'll see you.
Bye,
Bye.
friends.
Guys.
Bye.
Bye.